Salt. It is a flavor enhancer, and as you already know, it's what makes your steak taste so good. Without salt, it would just be very bland. And for today's experiment, we're going to be making some seasoning salt. Unlike regular salt, which is a flavor enhancer, seasoning salt is actually a flavor modifier. That's because we add flavor into the salt. And whenever you're adding it to steaks, it changes the profile of the steaks completely. And the goal for this video is to find out if seasoning salt is actually good for dry brine. If it works, it will be awesome because we can insert flavors into the steaks without even cooking it yet. This is the dry brine experiment using seasoning salt, so let's do it. And to start off, the very first salt I'm going to show you how to make is wine salt. Yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. The first and most important thing to do is to reduce the wine. We want to make a syrup out of it. So don't be shy and add one entire bottle of your favorite wine. Bring it to a boil, then reduce it to a simmer until it reduces all the way up to a syrup. This takes a little bit of time, so be patient, because by the time you're done, you should have something like this. I'm telling you, this is as thick as it gets. It is not like maple syrup consistency. It's almost like tar, and it's super thick. That is exactly what you're looking for. I mean, take a look at how thick it is on a spoon, and when I drizzle it in the bowl like this, it almost does not flow. That is exactly what you're looking for. Now, to make your wine salt, I highly recommend using this kind of salt right here. It's what we call flaky salt, also known as Maldon salt. It has nice large crystals, which I love, but if you do not have this one available, you can also use coarse kosher salt. To make it, it's pretty straightforward. Just add a little bit of the syrup and mix everything well. Now, we'll tell you one thing, do it little by little. Don't add too much syrup because that thing is powerful. Just a few drizzles will go a long way. Make sure to mix it well because once you're done mixing it, it should look just like this. That, my friends, is wine salt, and it is wonderful in any steak. But I'm curious to find out how it's gonna taste as dry brine. Moving on to the next one, we're gonna make something that it's called umami salt. As you might know, umami is your fifth taste. We can all taste bitter, sour, sweet, and salty, and umami is your fifth taste. That is these little things here which taste fantastic in any steak. It's basically made out of mushrooms, and if you never had it, I highly recommend. And to make the seasoning salt is pretty simple. You want to do 50% of kosher salt and 50% of umami powder. Now all there's left to do is to make sure you mix everything well and your umami salt is done. That is how easy it is to make this seasoning salt. Now the great thing about this one is that it does not only go well with beef, but also with any other type of protein. The next one we're going to be doing is one of my favorite salts there is, and we're talking about bacon salt. And it's super easy to make. Of course, the first thing we gotta do is cook up some bacon. Make sure to cook it all the way through and get it as crispy as possible without burning it. And as always, remember to save the bacon fat. Once everything has been drained, you are left with perfect bacon bits. Now all there's left to do is to throw it into your food processor and make sure you blend everything on high. As you can see, we are left with little bits of bacon. It is important to remember this measurement: 1 part bacon and 2 parts salt. This one, friends, is as good as it gets. And it's not only fantastic in steaks, but also wonderful in pasta. The next salt we're going to be making is something that you will be able to tell right away just by smelling it. And we're talking about smoked salt. This one is also super easy to make. There are several different ways for you to smoke your salt. You can either use a smoker if you have one already. Another option is to use a smoke generator. That produces what's called a cold smoke. The only thing you gotta watch out for is that you gotta have a container for it. And a grill works just fine. Just let it smoke for at least 24 hours and take it all out. As you can see, by the time I was done, it completely changed color on me. That is exactly how you make smoked salt. And it's perfect to go along with anything that you want a nice little hint of smoke. But now that we have all of our salts ready, all there's left to do is to apply them into the steaks. And for that, I'm going to be using these 4 beautiful ribeyes. They're all prime grade, and you can tell by the marbling of these beautiful steaks. That right there is exactly what you should always be looking for: a perfectly well marbled steak just like this. But now all there's left to do is to apply all of the seasoning salt. I started with the bacon salt, followed by the wine salt, moved on to the smoked salt, and finished it off with the umami salt. And of course, I made sure that every single edge of the steak was completely covered with the seasoning salt, because now all there's left to do is to put it on a cooling rack so that air can circulate all the way through. And hopefully not only the salt will penetrate nicely and deeply into the meat, but also its flavor. The only thing left to do is for me to put this in my refrigerator so the salt can do its magic. And for that, I'll be waiting 24 hours. The very next day, I took them out of my refrigerator, put them on my cutting board, and this is what they look like. As you can see, most of the salt is completely gone. That's because it penetrated nicely and deeply into the meat. And hopefully we brought all those seasoning flavor along with it. But now the only thing left to do is to finish off the seasoning of these steaks. And for that, I added a little bit of freshly ground black pepper and garlic powder, nothing else. Because I'm really hoping I'll be able to taste the differences between the steaks. Talking about that, it is time to grill them. And for that, I'm first going to be putting a nice beautiful sear on them. Then I'll be cooking them in indirect heat until I reach an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit internally with my wireless thermometers. But now that we have everything ready, I say it is enough talking and it is time to cook them. So let's do it. All right, so we got a little experiment here, yeah? I want to know which steak tastes different, which one tastes better, if there's anything different between them. You just let me know. Sounds like a plan?
Okay.
All right, we got a lot of steaks to try, so let's do this. So we're gonna go with the first one right here. You ready? Steak is always phenomenal. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I think that there's something going on here. The flavor is great.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like it's a good tasting steak.
But very, very mild flavor of a different hint that I can't put a grasp around it. Okay, do you enjoy it?
I do.
I enjoy it as well. Let's go for the second one, Angel.
You know what? I will say the flavor is less in your face.
Really?
Than the last one.
You think so?
I think so.
This one here, I use something called bacon salt. Can you tell that there's some bacon cured flavor? If you really pay attention to it, you can taste a little bit difference of the pure bacon.
It's a little aftertaste that you get out of it. But it's
nothing
not serious. Like, in terms of flavor, I think these two are very similar. But that one has obviously like a different aftertaste than this one. But I think this one has a more powerful flavor.
More stronger,
like
you said.
It's more in your face than that one.
Which one would you like better?
Wow, you just want me to say it, huh?
I know, he does not like to drink wine, everybody. But you do like the wine better.
I would probably take the wine one.
I agree with you. The wine tastes much, much more like it was supposed to be made with it. That's all we have to say about that.
Yeah.
Agree? Okay, let's jump to the next one, everybody. Third one, everybody. Cheers. Oh. Angel, talk to me. What are you feeling about this one here? This one here, just so you know, so far, definitely my favorite. But apparently not Angel. You're thinking a lot there. What are you thinking, buddy? We're waiting for it.
This is the best one so far.
The wine, you still like the wine better. This one...
That one, the taste keeps going, though. So I bet you did some weird... Nah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No cursing.
I bet you did some weird stuff to that one.
For me, by the way, everybody, I'll tell you right now, the umami powder is definitely winning.
That's what it is?
Umami powder.
You just put the umami?
Mm-hmm. With salt, of course.
Oh, this is a salt experiment.
It's a salt experiment, Angel.
Okay, I'm
Can you try to guess the last one?
Regular salt.
Ah, maybe it's the control, huh? Very last one, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, this one is very different. The difference is very, very mild, everybody. So it takes a second for you to be able to tell that difference. But what is it?
Smoked.
Yes, you can tell that it was definitely smoked salt because the smoked salt has a very unique flavor. Huh?
I'm getting good at this. I feel good now.
But I'm not quite sure necessarily if I enjoy it better, this one. How about you?
Top two.
Really? So for you, you go with the wine first and then the smoke after. For me, at least, definitely the umami has a wonderful taste that I really enjoyed. And then I'm with you on the wine.
You really got me to say that the bacon one is number 4.
Dry brining it with the finishing salt, I don't think it's worth it. You?
That wine one is so good.
You really like that one, everybody. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in any of the equipment I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.